Namaste, dear listeners, and welcome to the iWatch channel. Ashto in with Abhi, oneness, nostalgia, and spirituality. Today, we're going to talk about love. What is love, and why is there so much unlove everywhere you go? Why there is so much of energy that is not related to love but confused as love or draped in the word of love? So, the reason why I'm doing this podcast is purely because of a number of people that in inverted commas would describe themselves as not being one that is in harmony with love, or somebody that is not comfortable with the feeling of love, or somebody that says that I am no longer looking for love. Now, welcome, guys. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Click on the like and share button. Your support means a lot to me. So, my name is Abhi, and I want to thank all of you who have supported my channel also on my live TikTok and definitely on my socials. Let's go straight into it. Um, in order to, this was actually a question given to me. Abhi, I'm no longer looking for love. Love is not my best friend, and what I'm looking for is peace. Now, firstly, there's no difference between peace and love. What you may think love is not love. For love is not looking for anything external. Neither is love anything has to do with anything external in terms of gratification, in terms of anything material, a sense of feeling physically on the body. Love is a state of consciousness, it's a state of being. It's a frequency that is beyond the material dimensions. It's a very high frequency, anywhere from 532 upwards. And in the physical dimension, in the material dimension, we are thinking love is you must do this, you must do that, you must make me feel a certain way. These are all within the material dimensions. It all exists within the three layers of the body. It all exists under 300 hertz. So this is what you are confusing love versus attachment. Now, love and attachment is totally different. You have attachment issues. You have an attachment to your past trauma. And the reason why you may think love hurts is because your attachment that you have is no longer or has no longer been functioning the way you expected it to be. For example, if you've in a relationship or what have you, and you have certain expectations of your partner. Firstly, that's not love. Love is expectation list. Love is a state of consciousness where there is no expectations from anybody, not just your partner. Now, obviously, to get to this frequency is not simple. It requires a dissolution of the mind. The mind is the ego self. It requires you to dissolve the mind. Another consequence of that, there, love is realized. Now, unfortunately, why there is so much of turmoil when it comes to, in inverted commas, love, these are actually attachment issues. Because you are vibrating, well, most human beings are this way. They are vibrating within the three dimensions, within the they are trapped within the physical body, pranic body, and the mental body. This is the three sheets of body, which is the material dimension. You have expectations of a special somebody to behave, speak, and think a certain way. And when this goes off, not according to your expectations, then it hurts you. Now, obviously, everything in the material dimension will hurt you. Right? So you feel hurt, not because love has not went your way, it's because your expectations have not went your way. Your attachment is causing your problem. Your attachment issues, attachment to sense of control, attachment to the ego self, the false self. Once you realize this here, once you realize that you have an attachment problem and not a love problem, then you can start dissolving your mind. But remember, in most cases, you will never understand this without dissolving the mind, without stilling the mind, without paying attention towards absolute nothingness. The more you are trapped in your mind, the more you are far away from love. The more you are trapped in the physical nature of yourself, which is the physical world, the more less of love you know, the more of attachment you know in confusion with love. Therefore, your love will always hurt you. And if you are in this frequency, you can be married, you can have kids, but if you are such a person, you will always have attachment issues and you will always feel that you are never at peace. You'll always feel discomfort. You will feel uneasy. You will have trust issues. In fact, even when you're alone, you will not trust anybody. Even when you're in the relationship, you're not trust anybody. It's not because that it's got to do with anybody. It's a you thing. Your state of consciousness is attached to past trauma. And the only reason the trauma has existed is because of false identification of who you really are. False understanding of what love is versus attachment. Now, this is the biggest issue that most human beings are suffering. Therefore, I get these statements every day. Abi, I'm not interested in love anymore. Love has failed me. Love never fails anybody. Love never alters where alter finds. Love is as is. It's just that you are very far away from it. Therefore, you will fail. If you don't go to class, if you don't go for your lectures, you will fail. If you don't move towards love, naturally you will fail the examination of love. You are thinking love is not for you. It's just that you are not close to it. You are far away from it, hence you don't understand it. You are in the classroom of attachment trying to understand what love is. Naturally, you would never understand what love is. For you are very far away from the light. The light is no difference from love. In fact, to understand the light, one has to surrender the mind, the ego, into absolute nothingness, which is very dark. And in the space of absolute nothingness, which is very dark, light is realized. So I hope this makes sense to you. And to everybody that have messaged me that love has failed them, I hope that you put this podcast as one of your favorites, because if you can understand the simple truth, I promise you, 99% of your troubles leave relationships. 99% of your troubles will fall away. And why I say 99%, in fact, 100% of your troubles will fall away. It's because you have moved away from that low dimension of attachment and you have moved now to the dimension of absolute nothingness where everything is realized. And once you realize everything, nothing seems to bother you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Bol, goodbye.